Hello everybody, it's Tanya from Dolly Day's Nursery. Hello Harley. Hi. I'm not going to tell you to say hi because we may not get you stopped barking. Anyway, I thought I would share my home with you at Christmas time, and I would love if I were living in an area where there were lots of people, reborn collectors and artists. I would love to host a beautiful get-together in my home for Christmas. That's something that I always used to do, and I loved having people in my home at Christmas. And I have always gone all out to prepare my home for Christmas because I love Christmas time of year. And so slowly but surely I have been getting my house decorated. And some of you may know that I was working away from home, gone all week, and coming home on Fridays, and then just having basically Saturday really to myself. And so, I didn't get everything done in the amount of time I wanted to get it done. So I'm just stopping now. It's past Christmas. I was even decorating last night, and because I had some friends come in to visit. And but anyway, I've decided to stop decorating for this year. So next year, hopefully I'll get it all done before Christmas Eve. But I just wanted to share this with you. It's a stormy day, and I drove to work in less than desirable road conditions, and so it's only deteriorating. Our blizzard happened overnight, and into the morning. It cleared, I guess, long enough for me to drive to work, and then was scheduled to hit us again at noon. And so I'm only home about 15 minutes. And yeah, so it wasn't great driving home. But thank God I am home safe and sound. So what I always do during Christmas is I have a DVD that I play on my TV of the fireplace, and it has the Christmas music soundtrack with it as well. And that's something that I have loved since they first came out, and I find it very relaxing. So I have lots of snowmen, and I have lots of decorations, so you can see those as I'm going around. And it was a challenge I found this year, decorating my home for the first time in a couple of years, because I'm trying to adapt all my decorations to a different house, different layout. And this picture actually is of me and my husband and our little dog Harley. We were all dressed there, me as Mrs. Claus, and they both had their Santa outfits on. But anyway, my Christmas tree is a little different from the traditional. I like the country, rustic, primitive decor, and so that's how I decorate my tree. But mind you, I do have some very special ornaments that always make it on my tree every year. And one being this little beaded cross. I made that maybe when I was about 14 years old, and it's pretty near the first thing that goes on my tree every year. And yeah, so I have lots of new items on my tree this year. These nice big candy canes are nice fillers. This little owl here clips onto the branch. as well as these little gift boxes, and these little Christmas tree ornaments are new, and some of these mittens, and the stockings as well. Those are new. This is a lovely ornament that a very special woman gave me a number of years ago. She was one of our parishioners, and she took it straight from her tree and gave to me. It's very special. She was kind of like my mom away from home. And I tend to have a lot of items with Joy on it. Joy is my middle name. And so I tend to use Joy a lot. And cardinals seem to be something that drew my attention this year. For some reason, I don't know why. It just seems to be... I always put birds on my tree because my grandmother always did that. And it's a very special thing that I do now. This one is new. I don't need an angel on the top of my tree. I already have one in heaven. Don't we all? Don't we all? This one is a neat little... I don't know if you've ever heard tell of the legend of the Christmas spider. And I have a copy of it here somewhere, but this is a handmade ornament done with the beads. And one of the churches actually did them as a fundraiser. And so I couldn't help but patronize them and help them out, but yet this one is very neat. I don't remember the whole story, but it's about people putting up their tree and going to bed, and when they got up, the spider was after going over the tree and leaving its silver threads, and the tree just glistened. So this is another very special one, the Kneeling Santa. Will it? And this little one has a cute little story to it. It's a pear. I visited a family one time at Christmas, and her husband had passed, and we were there to do the funeral and everything. So while we were at her house, she knew that my husband liked Montreal Canadiens hockey team. And so she gave him a mug that you freeze in the freezer, and then you can put your pop, or, well, a lot of people would put like beer or something in it. But anyway, she gave it to him and told him he could take it home. And I told her the story about when I was a little girl. And I would go everywhere with my dad. But I think he must have at least been embarrassed a time or two. Because when we were ready to leave someone's house, I would always say, I want something. And they would go through everything, asking me, do I want this? Do I want that? No, no, no. There were lots of times that I would go home. Maybe I had a tin of sausages or a can of soup. Anything to take home with me. It was the silliest thing. And so I told her that story. So she didn't have anything right off to give me. So she reached over into her centerpiece on our table and took that little pear. And she said, here, you take that and always remember me. And so I went home and I made this little bow and put this little cone on there. And I took a picture and sent her, and I told her it would always be on my tree and I would always remember her. And sure enough, it's like 6 or 7 years later and it still hangs on my tree. So it was a funny moment. And the same friend that gave me the angel gave my husband this, I guess it's supposed to be a violin, and she took it from her tree and gave it to him. I have some memory photos on my tree, and that's my grandma with my dad, and then my other grandmother is right here, and these precious little ones, this was a gift this year, Jasmine and her brother Joshua. I love it. And my niece made me this one. She painted the two snow people, and Harley as well is on there, and it's Christmas 2018. I love it. I love people making things, giving gifts that they made. This is a very special ornament here, Kentucky 2000. That's when we went to Kentucky and met our family for the first time. Oh, there's so many special ornaments, and I always top off my tree with this raffia and just tie the bow and let the strings hang down. This little snowman here is one that I got a couple of years ago in memory of baby Abigail. I always love at Christmas going and visiting people's homes and seeing their Christmas tree. It's just so special because every tree is so different. And some are loaded with items, ornaments, some are not. I'm actually trying to find a special one here that my mom gave me, but I don't remember where I put it. Anyway, I better hurry up because this is going to be a long video if we keep here. And Harley's getting comfortable on the mat. So I usually make new ornaments every year and decorations. That's one that I made this year. And a couple of years ago, me and my dad made this one with the candles. This one my sister-in-law gave me for Christmas, and it is so gorgeous. You can see how it goes. The light goes in stars. It's beautiful. And I made that one this year. And this is just a collection of a number of things. I think my battery is going in my poor snowman. This is a candle that was found in my brother's shed. This was just a piece of log, but the insects ate away at it and left this amazing, even got holes in there, this amazing detail work. And when I saw it, it just reminded me of a candle. And so Dad just hollowed out the top of it so I could put a tea light in there, and I tied a piece of fabric around it. So this little one is new. This book, it lights up. I have lots of little things that people have given me, and I cherish them all. These items, everything is so special. Everything has a memory to it. These snowmen here are just made of like a stake that you'd put in for your fence. Let it snow. And these are my lovely curtains. They arrived Christmas Eve. And I'll just warn you of how important it is to be safe with your decorations, especially plug-in lights, because we just discovered that the candles we had in the window tipped back and actually scorched. So that's scorch marks. We took the candles out of it. So, you know, don't ever go away and leave your lights on. This here is something I made a few years ago. It is an old record. So if you like record players and old records, this is ABBA. And you melt it in the oven in a bowl. You place it over the top of the bottom of a bowl, so you tip your bowl upside down, and then you put it in the oven. It only takes maybe 6 minutes, and when you take it out, you take another bigger bowl and you slide down over the top of it. It cools really quick, but it ends up being like a what do you mean, like a Torito bowl type of thing. This is an old trunk. So, a really old trunk that I have. It's over 100 years old, and I open it up and stand my trees up in it. And I made this one a few years ago. And this is the focus of our Christmas season. We cannot have Christmas without Christ. For unto us a child is born. This is an owl. It's ceramic. My great aunt made it for my grandmother. And no one seemed to be interested in taking those, so I took them. There's two. And one Christmas, I just put a piece of ribbon around the neck and put a poinsettia on there. And now they're usually a focal point when people come to visit. These are my carolers I always wanted. And this is the very first Christmas I've had them on display. They've been in storage for the last couple of years. Joy. And this is my snowman that I made a number of years ago now. And I was able to get this sled for him. And that's a reindeer that was given to me as a gift a few years ago. I have my village. It's already on my YouTube. But this is the leftover pieces that don't fit in there. So I displayed them here. And there is the other owl up there. And, well, actually, these I made when I used to do ceramics. And I made those. And I made these little ones on their sled. So you're getting a tour of my house right now. I have a fine collection of teapots. I used to have 120, and now I only have 64. I say 64 because I kept 60. I sold the rest, and with my uncle passing, I just came home with another 4 teapots. So this one is Joy as well, and me and my dad made that. And we made those stars. And I did this Grace and Believe. It's not dark here, so the lights are not showing up very well, so those icicle lights dribble down. I go into the kitchen where I don't have a whole lot of decorations. These I had on the corner of my living room window, but when I got my curtains, I didn't need them there. So, this is basically a memory wall right here. All these little glasses belong to my grandmother. And this plate, which was so true, no matter where I serve my guests, it seems they like my kitchen best. And everybody gathered in her kitchen. And that's my grandmother's mother, my great-grandmother. And that's another plate belonging to my grandmother. And then my great-aunt gave me this one after my uncle passed. And here's Harley's little corner. See, he even has his Christmas tree up. I can't help myself. So this is my porch. I am glad to have such a nice big porch. So I made this snowman this year. It's just done on a wreath, the forms of a wreath, and I just took the bough, green bough, and just kept going around. Winter blessings. For a while I was into making rock art, and this is one of the ones I did for our home. So it's me and my husband and our little dog, Harley. Does this look familiar to some people? And all of glass beads and everything. Here is my village tree. There's a more detailed video on my YouTube. And my brother and sister-in-law gave me this beautiful picture with the lights in it. And for a while I was into painting skates. So I've dabbled in everything really. So this year I decided to put all my cards on the wall. And I hang lights, icicle lights from my ceiling in my hallway. I just love walking through here with the lighting. And as you see, bathroom. Yes, I have a Christmas shower curtain. Would you think any less? Would you expect any less? And lights around the mirror. Some people have said Christmas explodes in my face. When I used to live in an apartment, it was all this and less space. So that's where that concept came from. This shelf is just those wooden crate boxes that you can get at Walmart, and they're just screwed together. And I purchased legs at the hardware store and put them on. So it works great. Again, this here, these are pieces off top of a can't remember what you call it, but it's the main post for like railing, and that's cut off. And instead of wasting it, we made it into candles. Why not? Made this one here as well. Joy again. Made these a few years ago. kept one for myself, but I made them and gave them as prizes one time. And I made that ornament there. Here's the room. This is my bedroom with my Christmas tree and lights around the bed frame. And this is my quilt that I made or altered. And I made the this one over here is just a piece of fabric cut out like that and put in the frame. This is my favorite feature of my room. This ginormous painting. And then, then we have Dolly Day's nursery. It's not as Christmassy in here. I wasn't here to take in a lot of time, so we have our snowman all lit up. And we do have our reindeer, Think Snow, and Greetings, our Santa. Here's the little Grinchy. I could turn on the light. There we go. Oh, we're 26 minutes in. So here's all the babes. We still have our headless baby. Her head is over there. Almost finished, friends. Oh, it will soon be done. And then we have these lovelies. These are the two custom portrait babies that I was working on. And they're about ready to go home. So I just have to take some photos of them. This is all their goodies. They'll never fit in there. They have a bigger box to go in. And I'll do a little more of a detailed video specifically on them. They get their own video. But this is the little boy. And here's the sweet girl with her little pigtails. Little toes. So they're going home next week. Yeah, so anyway, I just thought I would take a little bit of time and share my Christmas with you. The wind is howling outside. The waves are, I don't know, just a moment. So this is the view from the window of the nursery. And there's the ocean. We rarely ever see the water rough like this here because we are in a harbor. So like it's, you know, safe harbor, right? And we rarely ever see waves rolling in. And there it is. Our winds are supposed to gust up to 110 kilometers an hour, and in some places 130. So there it is. And the wind is howling through. Here's our big long driveway that we didn't give any thought about what it was going to be like at winter time when the snow comes. How much snow clearing and shoveling there would have to be. So we parked our car right here last night out in the driveway so that this morning my husband would only have a small amount of snow to shovel for me to get out to work. And it took him almost 2.5 hours to do the rest after I left. So yeah, I think we need a snow blower or a plow or something. Anyway, 30 minutes in, I will be talking with you soon. Hope you liked the video. Leave me some comments. If you want to, shoot me some ideas of what you would like to see in video form from me. Can't say that I'm much into role play, but I can certainly tackle a topic, or, you know, if you have any questions that you'd like to ask me, if you want to know anything about me, if you want to get to know me, you know, shoot me some questions and I will address them in video form. Anyway, friends, hope you have a great day and hope you're nice and warm and cozy wherever you are. And I will see you soon. Take care, everybody. Bye.